And as I was taking the class, I did some research and came across a study on children's books that said there were only 3.4% of children's books that featured a disabled protagonist. And I have a grandchild who was diagnosed with Dravet Syndrome. Most people don't know what that is. It's a very complex, rare seizure disorder. It can be catastrophic. Some of these kids need lifelong care. It works like a spectrum, almost like autism, where some of the children will be very high functioning and others will require considerable amount of care.
Hello, and welcome to Story Power, a bi-monthly podcast I created because I'm an unabashed story lover. Stories have had a huge impact on my life, starting with the family movie night discussions my parents instituted when I was a child. I want to share that love with you. As cognitive scientist Roger C. Shanks says, humans are not ideally set up to understand logic. They are ideally set up to understand stories. I'm making it my mission to not only spread the love of stories, but all the valuable things they teach us about human nature and relationships. We humans are emotional creatures, and stories help us examine our emotions from a comfortable distance. They also help us walk in the shoes of the characters to help us see the world in new ways. It's my hope you gain some valuable insights from my guests. Hello, Story Power listeners. Today is episode 136, and I'm talking to T.L. McCoy, or as I'm going to call her by her first name, Tammy. And Tammy, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me on the show.
And I was looking at all of your Podmatch profile information, and I wanted to know about your book, Delilah versus the Nasty Grim, and also about your granddaughter and what is Dravet Syndrome. Can you talk about all of those things for a little bit? I'll let you just talk about those.
Okay, I'll go right into it then. So, yes, the name of my book is Delilah versus the Ghastly Grim. It is an inclusive children's fantasy book. This is what it looks like here.
Oh, good.
And yeah, and so I'm really proud of it. It's doing really well. It's won several awards. It's hit several bestseller lists on Amazon, even made #1 in the area of I want to say it's children's epilepsy health.
Uh-huh.
So it did hit that level there. So we're pretty proud of how it's doing so far. It just came out at the end of May, so it hasn't been out that long.
Oh, wow.
But what happened was I actually yeah, I'm really excited about it.
That is.
So what happened was I decided to take a class to kind of figure out where I was having like a disconnect with my writing. I felt like there was something off with my writing, and so I wanted to take this class to kind of pinpoint what my issue was. And as I was taking the class, I did some research and came across a study on children's books that said there were only 3.4% of children's books that featured a disabled protagonist. And I have a grandchild who was diagnosed with Dravet Syndrome. Most people don't know what that is. It's a very complex, rare seizure disorder. It can be catastrophic. Some of these kids need lifelong care. It works like a spectrum, almost like autism, where some of the children will be very high functioning and others will require considerable amount of care. It can affect everything from walking to speech to behavior. My grandchild is only 4, but she's been getting therapy for quite a while now. She gets physical, occupational, and speech therapy. The occupational, not weekly, but the other 2 weekly, twice a week, actually. And then more so with the speech. So she is high functioning. I think that we've managed through research and working with doctors and therapists to really really kind of help her a lot in this area. We've staved off the seizures for over a year now. My daughter especially is on top of it. You know, that's her daughter, so she's really on top of it, and she's in the medical field as well. And we have a great neuro problem. I said we have a great neurologist that
Oh,
keeps an eye on everything for Delilah.
uh-huh.
So she's doing quite well. And she really was the inspiration behind me writing the book, is what happened. So I originally set out to write an adult book, but when I came across the study that there aren't a lot for kids like
Mhm.
Delilah,
Yeah.
I decided to put my adult book aside and write something for her and kids like her.
Right.
Basically, I really wanted there to be more out there for kids who have special needs. I used to be a director of a school for kids with special needs because I feel like a lot that's out there, what it does is it's not either it's not authentic, or it presents it in a way where they want to cure what the child has rather than
Mhm.
empower the child,
Mhm.
or it's so educational that you lose the kids and they don't want to read it.
Right.
So I felt like I needed to write something, and that's where Delilah versus the Ghastly Grim was born.
Oh, that's so great. Now, I am not an expert in this, but when I was doing substitute teaching, I did two long-term sub-assignments. One was for a whole year in the special ed department, and I was working with kids who are had reading disabilities or any kind of disability. So I was writing IEPs and things like that, which I didn't really know how to do, but but yes. So those kids are really they were open books. They were empowering me to be a good teacher. It was just, yeah, I think it's great that we just accept the kids where they are. That's really that's important.
Yeah, you want to give them every advantage that you can
Mhm,
give
mhm.
them. So that's important. But I also think that if we present it to the kids as if they're lesser, then
Right.
people internalize that. People internalize
Mm,
it almost becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. So I don't believe in doing that. I also think a lot of times it's those things that are most difficult in life that are the things that help us grow as individuals, and sometimes that's what makes you great.
yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to do with the Lila versus the Ghastly Grim. What many view as her weakness actually turns out to be her greatest strength when
Yes.
she's in her fantasy world kind of thing. Her powers are rooted in her disability. So that's kind of how I
Mhm,
wanted to present it. And I feel that way about my grandchild.
mhm.
She's my hero. The other day she told me I was her best friend, and she's 4. And I said, "No, you're my best friend because this
Mhm.
little kid goes to therapy every week. She works so hard. She has to do way more things than other kids have to do just on a weekly basis. And yet she's always super positive, super sweet, just this lovely little girl. And so she's like my hero."
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah. I can't wait to see what she's gonna do. I bet you can't wait to see what she's gonna do.
I'm excited for her. I
So,
think her first seizures occurred in her first year of life. So right away, she had obstacles that she had to face, which most of us don't have to face them that early. But she's doing a great job getting around them.
oh, that's so great. That's good.
And then And then I believe you asked me about the imprint Blue Round Book Group,
Oh, right.
which
Yeah.
I started to release the book. So yeah, so I did start that company. It's an LLC. It's a brand new company. It started this year. And I did do that to release Delilah versus the Gasagram. I did wait until I made sure that the book was professional and ready to be released. It went through multiple edits. I think I edited it around 30 times, and then I had 2 professional edits done, one by an award-winning literary agent, Aaron Young, and then another by the editor of The Hunger Games, actually edited Delilah versus the Ghastly Grim. And then I also was fortunate to find the illustrator who I contacted off Reedsy. We contracted through Reedsy to do the cover because I wanted the cover to really stand out, and getting a lot of positive feedback on the cover. Like everyone seems to love the cover. I think it draws the eye immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Some feel like it's a little bit some, I think some said it reminds them of Scooby-Doo, and others feel like a little bit of Goosebumps is in there kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But it's very positive feedback on the cover. So I was fortunate to work with professionals that made sure that the book, was what it needed to be before we released it under the imprint Blue Round Book Group. But my goal with Blue Round Book Group is to get more books out there.
To get more books out there, and are you going to are you going to write the books, or are you looking for other people to write the books?
I would like other people to write some of those books. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a full-time job on top of being a
Oh my
writer.
goodness.
Yeah. I'm a psych nurse during the week. So, I love writing. To me, it's my full-time job. So I basically consider it as having two full-time jobs. But there'd be no way to bridge the gap by myself. We need more involved, more people, more writers involved to bridge the gap that exists right now, because there aren't enough books on the market that are representative. There aren't enough books on the market that are inclusive. So it can't just be me. So my goal is to connect with other authors and start building Blue Round Book Group, as well as getting the word out. And this is kind of a mission.
Yeah, to increase that 3.4% so that it's more, the percentage is larger.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean, if you think about the number of people who have disabilities, or it's or or other factors that could come involved in that, it's really just astounding that that number even exists.
I know.
So hopefully we can address it and do a little bit better.
Oh, yes. So how do you find those authors?
I'm working on it. So I do know some people who write, and strangely enough, sometimes it's just a matter of chance where I'll be talking about the book, and maybe an author will say, I've always wanted to do something along those lines. So I have connected with a few people who writes a blog that I'm trying to convince. And we'll see if we could get her to release something like a book.
Yes. Now, I'm going to throw this in here. I may cut this out later, but I belong to Prolific Writers Life, and they're always looking for sponsors and people who encourage writing of all kinds. And maybe, an organization like that might have, I'll check with Lorraine, but they might have some people who are interested in writing that kind of book. I'm fairly new to the organization. So, yeah, I will talk to her and see if she knows of anybody in the membership who's writing that kind of book that we could send your way.
That would be wonderful. That would actually be wonderful. I would love to connect with those authors.
Yeah, yeah, really. Because it sounds like a really important mission. And yeah.
It is. I view it as a mission, and I kind of joke that I didn't have a choice. I was basically, it wasn't like a nudge, it was a hard push. So what happened was I was a director of a school for children with disabilities. And I was never planning on becoming a director of a school for children with disabilities. It was a timing thing, and it kind of just, somebody called me and they're like, I didn't even put it in to be the director. And I
Mhm.
ended up being the director of it. But and my grandchild was not born at that time. But then I moved on from that job, and my grandchild was born, and she ended up having a disability. And I was like, how strange, learned all this stuff, valuable information. Sure. So I became a nurse, and my family moved to be near my daughter to help with our grandchild. So my husband and I moved so that we could help out.
Mm.
And so my grandchild has, Dravet syndrome. So then I learned more from that. Then I came across the study and the writing that kind of lit a fire under me. But to top it all off, I had a strange dream. And I'm kind of one of those weird peoples where the dreams actually they often apply to real life. For example, I had a dream that I could paint. I never picked up a paintbrush, never took a class in my life, but I had a dream I could do it. I bought some canvas. My artwork's in movies. So
Oh, cool.
it's strange. It's the dreams are strange. But in this case, I dreamt about a boat called the Nord. And I put that in my book. I
Mhm.
put that in my book. In the dream, it was the Nord. I could see it on the back of the boat. So I used that in my book. And then once my book was completely written, it went through all the edits. It was already done with the professional editors and ready to come out. I was doing more research and I came across an organization called the Nord, and they're actively involved with people with disabilities. And I was like, okay, God, I got it. It's no longer a nudge. It's like, we're pushing you now. This is what you got to be doing. So I kind of feel like it really is a mission for me at this point.
Oh, that's so great. So did you contact that organization, the Nord?
I have not contacted them about it. No, I just thought it was very interesting that they are actively involved in that area.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, it sounds like at some point you might.
Okay,
So, yeah, I was thinking they might
it's
find your
okay.
book. They might find your book somehow and they might contact you. That'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be nice. I have been in contact with the Epilepsy Foundation, and so I have made connections with that foundation. So maybe I should reach out to them. I'll be honest with you, it's been kind of a whirlwind since the book released. It's constant marketing, and I have a full-time job, and so there's a lot of work that gets involved in it. I create all the promo videos myself.
Mhm.
So it's basically working from morning till night. So I probably should reach out to them. And you just kind of
Yes.
reminded me to do that. So I think I will do that.
Yeah, right. Well,
Thank
yeah,
you.
because it sounds like you need some help. And if you've got some organizations that can help you, yeah.
Boy, that would be nice. It would be nice. I didn't expect it to be so much work, I think. I think that people don't realize what's involved with a book launch. These big five companies, they have multiple departments that handle all of those things.
Exactly.
So if you're not a big company, you're doing a lot on your own.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you are. Yeah. And that's one of the things Prolific Writers Life helps with is they have some experts and one of them helps with book launches and book marketing and promotion. Yes, so I need help in that area. I have one book that's published and the sequel I'm working on now, and I am not good at promotion. So, but with Podmatch, I do some guest spots. So maybe when my second book comes out, my husband and I are talking about marketing them together and so maybe I'll do bunches of guest spots on podcasts, which is what you do.
Yes, I do a lot of the podcast. I'm a little bit more fortunate in that my husband is a professional YouTuber on top of his regular job. His name is Drum Dums on YouTube. He does movie reviews. So
Oh,
he has a little bit of a following. So in that regard, it was a little bit easier for me. But I wasn't a person who was actively involved in social media. In fact, my husband would say I was off the grid. I did not like using social media. I didn't even have any social media really before I started this. And that is something that you do have to do. You
hmm
have to have outreach, you have to have social media. So I'm building that now, and
hmm
that takes a little bit of time to build. And I started a YouTube channel for Blue Round Book Group as well. And we're doing like little animated skits tied to the book. So there's a lot that you have to do, but I'm very interested in the organization that you just mentioned because you said that they assist with that. Could you tell me a little more about that?
Yes, Prolific Writer's Life is based in Casa Grande, Arizona, and Lorraine Hatia, who was she has a PhD and she was a professor at college, started this organization called Prolific Writer's Life, and they have like all kinds of events like writing sessions. Different people have different days of the week have sessions where writers can come together and they work on their book, and then break, they take a little break and they talk about what they did. They also have they have a poet who does these really cool little writing a short little poem on a postcard and mailing it out every day for a month. They have a marketing guy or a guy that helps you with your websites. So, your author website. Let's see what else. Who else do they have? Oh, they have a guy who's an expert in myth. So you can go to an event and he talks about myth, because there are some of the writers are fantasy writers, and myth is a big thing, a big component of that. I do one called with a professional actor who wrote a book and is a member of the Prolific Writers Life, and it's called Films for Writers. And so each month we pick a film that is about, has a writing theme, or writers doing their process or going through things, whatever it is. And then we have it like it's a book club discussion group kind of thing on the last Friday of every
How
night.
fun.
It is fun. And we've been doing that since, I think, February was the first one that we did. So we've been doing it for several months now. And since Dave's a professional actor and I am have my background is in theater, and I have a YouTube channel with my sister called Classic Cinema with the Sage Sisters, where we pick one movie a month and we talk about, or it's actually every other week. And we analyze it and talk about it, how it is relevant still for today. So I'm interested in your husband's YouTube channel. But they have all different kinds of people with different expertise. And you can, go, if you're a member, most of the events and things are free. But, the experts can also offer extra things. So I'm also going to start an event for podcasting, uh, podcast guesting, so that the authors can, prepare to be on podcasts to promote their book. And let's see. Yeah, it's just this really neat.
That
Put,
sounds all very helpful.
yeah, I'll put that link in Podmatch for you, for Lorraine's link.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because they're always looking for sponsors and experts. And yeah, to help their members. They also have a newsletter. Any member, I think, can write a newsletter article. I've written two or three or four, can't remember, for them. So yeah, it's just this really neat extra little outlet for writers, and especially writers who are new and have never written a book before. They get a lot of support. So,
And you need it. There's a lot of competition out there, so you do. You need the support, you need some guidance,
mm-hmm.
especially you know, I think it's very helpful to have other authors read your work too, to get
Yes,
some critical feedback, especially before you release your book, kind of
right.
thing.
Yes.
Areas like, because sometimes you can't see what you're,
I'm sorry, you froze up again. So sometimes you can't see.
things that might be missing. So, like the white
Right.
space and stuff like that. Sometimes in your mind, it's all like you have the whole vision in your mind, but you're not. Maybe the reader can't quite see it. So they could kind of
Right.
point out where those areas are. And that's very helpful to a
Yes.
writer because it doesn't mean that you're flawed or anything. It just means that you maybe need to add to a section and so
Or
getting that getting it read and getting that criticism helps.
yes. And that's the kind of thing that Prolific Writers Life does. They have people who can read your book and help you. I was really fortunate. I belonged to a writers group, and a couple of the women helped me with my first novel. And sometimes you can't see. You have all this information for characters in the back of your head, but you don't need to have all of that in your book. You need to know it,
Yes, I agree.
but you don't need it in your book. And that's one of the things they helped me with was cutting out things that I didn't need and then bridging, making better transitions and that kind of stuff. So I was really fortunate to have them. And now I have, I haven't submitted anything with the current book to Prolific Writer's Life, but I have a podcast guest who's helping me. She's a ghostwriter and she writes her own books, and she's going to help me with the second book. So
Wonderful.
I might at some point submit some things to Prolific Writer's Life too, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, you're right. We do need that help.
Did you hear my question?
I didn't hear your question.
What's the name of your book?
It's The Space Between Time. It's a two timeline book. So the women, there are two female protagonists, Morgan in the past and Jenna in the present, and they are related by blood. So Morgan is Jenna's three times great grandmother, and Jenna finds journals written by her grandmother, her three times great grandmother. And when she starts to read the book, the journals, she enters her three times great grandmother's consciousness and lives with her for a little while. But when she comes
Wow,
back,
that's awesome. That
but
is
when
really good.
but when she comes back, no time has passed in her time period. So she, uh, she doesn't have anything to. Nobody knows. Nobody knows that she's going on these until she tells them. So yeah, it's fun. But I probably could have had some more help on it. So that's one thing that my husband and I thought we'd ask Lisa to do is have oh dear. We have unstable internet again. That's one thing we thought we'd ask Lisa to do is look over my first book and maybe do some editing because I think I published it in 2017. So I could do another, go through, revise it, tighten it up, whatever it needs. And then the second book is a sequel to it. There are only going to be two. And each woman is involved in the suffrage movement of their time. So when I started the book, and I started that second book on 2014, just because I just finished my first draft of Space Between Time. Jenna didn't have anything to do then. So I wrote all of Morgan's stuff. And then when the Harvey Weinstein thing happened,
Oh, yeah.
then I was like, oh, good, I have things to write now.
Yeah, yes. You had a lot to write about.
Yeah, and with COVID and all, because she's, it's sort of follows what's going on now. Um, I've had some starts and stops with COVID, and do I include that in the book? Do I include, what's happening at, like getting rid of Roe v. Wade, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's where I am, and
It sounds amazing. And it's nice and unique. I love it. It sounds great. I'm looking forward to checking that out.
oh, good. Yes. Well, it's available on Amazon, but there's something we discovered. There's something wrong with the print on demand part. So Barry, my husband's a graphic artist. He's going to have to go and check that out and see why it cuts it. There's not much white space between the last line on a page and the end of the book. So something happened. Um, it
With the
might have been their
blade.
fault.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
They have
But
some templates out now. They have
they
templates
do.
out for that now. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's him as the graphic artist, he'll get that fixed up
Yeah.
super quick.
So but it's an ebook and you can get it on Apple Books or at Barnes and Noble as an ebook or Amazon as an ebook. I have so many books in my house. I can't have any more physical books.
Yeah, I don't think
You froze up again. You don't think
my husband will allow me to have any more books in the house. They are all over and in drawers, they're all over. He says
yes.
I decorate the house with them.
That's right. That's right. I do. That's what we do. So, oh yes, this has been so much fun. Do you have anything else you want to say before you go?
Well, I'm very grateful that you took the time to have me on your show. I look forward to checking out. Please do send the link for the prolific writers. I'm very interested in that. And also, if you could send the link for your book, I would love to take a look at that as well. And
Okay.
then for your audience members, hopefully they'll check out Delilah versus the Gassigrim. Again, it's been getting a lot of positive feedback, 5-star reviews from Reader's Favorite, 5 stars from Literary Titan, won 3 awards, hit bestseller lists. So it's doing really well, and we're really proud of it. But more importantly, even if your audience members isn't interested in a middle grade fantasy book, hopefully try to pick up something that might be representative or inclusive, because that encourages the gatekeepers to put more out there for those people.
Right. Yes. Well, I like reading middle grade books. I haven't read one in a while, but our book club group read The House on the Cerulean Sea, I think is the name of it. And the thing that we liked about it was it has these gay characters in it. So, yeah, so I mean that's not disability, but
But it is inclusive, so
yeah.
and it's representative, so it is, because I feel like for a long time there you didn't see a lot of that.
Mhm. Right. Exactly. Oh, you
I keep
froze up again.
losing you. I
I
keep losing
know. I don't
you.
I'm sorry about our internet problem today.
No
Uh
problem. I'm very grateful to be on your show.
I'm so happy that we got together. And I wish I could have read your book before we got together, but it seemed like it was important to get together before so that it would come out sooner. Your episode would come out sooner. So more people would get to read it. So thank you so much for being my guest.
You're very welcome. And if your book club wants to do another middle grade book, please check out Delilah versus the Gassigrim. I just actually had a conversation last week with a book club who read it, and it was so much fun because we did just like a video chat, and they had so many questions because there are elements in the book that really kids won't pick up,
Hmm.
but adults will pick it up. But like for example, I use 369 numbers, which is based off Tesla's belief. So
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
if you there are a lot of kind of Easter eggs in the book. So that's why I think a lot of adults, because I infuse hidden things in the book. There's a lot of hidden and symbolism in the book that a
Uh-huh.
child will recognize what it is, but a lot of times the adults are picking up like, what does this mean? I know this means something. And I was like, you're right, you picked up on something.
Yes.
There's almost like Easter eggs.
Well, that would be fun because it's a virtual book club group. We all some people live in San Francisco and some live in Washington, D.C. And my sister and her family live in Seattle area and we live in Arizona. So it's we're doing it virtually anyway. So maybe I'll suggest that we have you come when we have our discussion about it. So I'll suggest that we have you there because since it's virtual, that'd be great. That'd be so fun.
Wonderful. It was such a pleasure meeting you.
It was nice meeting you too. Thank you so much, Tammy, for being my guest.
And thank you again for having me on. We'll have to keep in touch.
Okay, sounds good.
I hope you not only enjoyed this episode but gained something valuable to take away with you. If you like what you heard, please share it with your friends and give us a rating and or review. If you're a story lover too, I invite you to join my Patreon community at patreon.com/storypower, all one word. Or you might be interested in classic cinema with the Sage Sisters, a YouTube channel and Facebook page I started with my sister Celeste, where we choose one classic movie that we think still has lessons for us today. As you can see, I'm passionate about spreading the love of stories and completely believe what Philip Pullman said. After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. Until next time, this is Lucinda Sage-Midgorden. Thanks for listening.